why the hell would Apple want Beats? What aspect of Beats is it that Apple is after? Is it the headphones? Is it the streaming service? Is it just the image? I mean, what is it? I mean, what does Apple want?
I mean, the truth is probably a selection of all of those. You know, I mean, the streaming service allows them to then have a slightly cooler take on what they're trying to do in music. It kind of aligns with what they seem to be doing.
But then the Beats streaming service, I mean, did Apple need to go to Beats?
It's a good question, but you could ask that about any big purchase. You know?
Yeah.
You could ask that about WhatsApp and Facebook, couldn't you? Which is
true.
I mean, let's be honest. They're still the headphones that you're more likely to see when you're wandering around London than anything else. Even more so than the horrible original iPhone buds that used to just haunt everyone's lives.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the one thing you can say about Beats. They're not that bad.
No,
but they're not that good.
That's the thing. Yeah, well, that's the thing. Like, they're not. I mean, you know, I like Beats, but I don't think, you know, any audiophile would tell you they're not the best.
And that's not necessarily. You know what? I say that. I don't think that everything should be held up to. This is the ultimate technology.
No.
They're
a
decent pair of headphones.
Yeah.
But they have a style and branding thing that lives beyond that. And let's face it, you know, you don't buy your T-shirt on the material quality these days. You buy it on the brand. So I think there's, you know, that's what Apple are buying into. They're buying into one of the most powerful brands in tech, or the most cool brands in tech at the moment. And if they can bring some quality, if they can, you know, some high-end stuff that's really amazing, if they can just pack a pair of Beats headphones in every one of their boxes, you know, there is a degree of sense in that.
Well,
right?
it could be that they'll work with Beats to kind of create, you know, new Beats earphones and headphones that are kind of a joint Apple Beats thing. I mean, personally, I see this as as a quite clever move from Apple potentially into moving into more of a lifestyle brand. I think it's wanting to slightly change its image from tech to lifestyle, and I honestly think this could very tie into the iWatch. I think, you know, I think they're going to want to sell the iWatch as a lifestyle piece, not as a piece of tech on your wrist. And, you know, this could be all part of that. I mean, it might not be like, Beats might not have anything to do with the watch itself, but I think, you know, I think Apple is moving into even more of a lifestyle brand, if I'm honest.
Don't forget about Dre.
Who could forget about Dre? Never forget about Dre. But yeah, it's interesting. And, you know, I think, yes, the streaming, maybe it is multi-channel, like you said. I think maybe they are going for the streaming service. Interesting move, given that Beats' streaming service is very young compared to like Spotify, Pandora, which are well ahead of the game, so there's work to do. But it will have that. It will have the brands, the Beats brand as well. You know, there's a few things to be taken from it, I think. So maybe, yeah, the answer to the question isn't that there's just one thing that Apple wants. Maybe, like you said, it's a few things.